Hi everybody, how are you? It's Jay Victoria, the Energy Queen. Thank you so much for watching my channel. I'm so glad that you found me and that you're here, subscribing, liking, commenting. I see it all. I'm really grateful. Um, and this channel is growing really fast, so I just wanted to welcome you again if you're here. And I believe my unique voice is really something that can help you because I've just been so prepared for the time we're in to talk about so many things, and I didn't ever realize that I would be speaking about them on YouTube or anywhere like that. But as time has gone on, I've realized like, oh, I'm so ready to talk about this, and I'm sure this can help people. And so I'm really glad that you're here. What I wanted to talk about today is something that occurred to me while talking to someone at my, you know, a friend that I know, and I was asking her like, what should I talk about on YouTube? Because more people are finding me. What do people want to know? And she said, you should talk about how real it is, the stuff that spiritual evolution requires, because there's a lot that you don't necessarily want to talk about or want to share. When we show up online, a lot of times we want to look perfect and we want everyone to think we're, you know, doing so well and everything's going perfect for us, and thinking that that'll attract more attention and more of all the things, that we want. And I think that I just want to say that, like, there is something to, I think, showing up and feeling good about yourself. I think that matters. That's the feminine, being in the moment, taking care of yourself, valuing yourself. And I think, though, like, we can't get caught up in that or lost in that idea and thinking that, well, if I don't look a certain way, then people won't like me. I think that's like the dark side of that. So I wanted to show up and just talk about what it's like to, my experience going through spiritual evolution, which has been really rapid. And I don't always talk about it, especially while I'm going through it. But I know that this is something that we're all doing, so I'm sure you can relate to the things I'm going to say. And basically, my stance on spiritual evolution, it is kind of unique because I see it through a very specific lens, and that's just the lens that I came to understand. I didn't necessarily choose that lens. It really like revealed itself to me. And what I'm talking about is like the way that I think the energy world is organized in my perspective. Like, so I see it through the lens of resurrection. I see all of our lives as a process of resurrecting. And in the energy world, the highest energy that I understand is the energy of the resurrection of Jesus. That's the energy that we're all trying to believe in, embody every day, live. And that's really like the saving energy that can transform your life the fastest that I know. And basically, while you're alive, that's what you're doing, is trying to resurrect into not the new version of you, but the real version of you, the real you. And the real you is always there. The real you is just you with the clearest energy possible while you're on earth. And it's about not carrying around negative energy that can get into you when you go through difficult things. So you go through a difficult thing and you don't feel the same after, right? You don't feel like you did before. You don't feel like you can't find that clarity within yourself of feeling like yourself even. And why that happens is not because you disappear, it's because when you go through difficult things, a lot of times you choose fear-based beliefs about things and you don't feel safe anymore. And it happens so instantly in the energy world that these negative energies, which are the negative beliefs, come into you. And so they literally block you. Those become the blocks. And then your energy creates your reality. So then things in your reality, like, they're not the same. You don't feel the same. You don't have the same access to who you really are. And so you feel shitty. Your life is not as good. And you have to keep going somehow. And the mistake people make is thinking that that's it. And that's not it. That's really what you're going to resurrect from. The process of getting that negative energy out of the way again is like coming back to who you are. That's the resurrection, your personal resurrection. And what I believe is that we can't do it alone. I think it's too hard for us. This is something I've struggled with a lot because I think we're very powerful. And God honestly taught me how to see energy visually. He taught me that I'm the energy queen. Like I have all this knowledge and it's just there. And I think my spirit in the energy world is the energy queen. Like I just have been given these gifts while I'm here on earth, and it's really incredible. And he taught me how to dissolve negative energy instantly in layers. Like all the time I'm learning new things constantly that I'm like, wow, it's so cool that this is how it works. And I want to tell people, and like, why don't we know this? And like, you know, it's really all things that your spirit does know as a spirit, but while we're on earth, it's like we forget. So one of my purposes is to remind you of these truths of how the energy world works and how it's creating your life all the time. And so you can have better life, like a better life through understanding those things that are going to be happening anyway, all around you. And like he taught me how to do so much, and I'm amazed every day at all of that. But I've had to come to terms with this again and again and again, that like, even with all these gifts, like, I still need God. I still need Jesus. I cannot. It's like it's like your soul is trying to choose positivity all the time, but like, as humans, we can get attacked by negative energy. We can get so discouraged. Our reality cannot look like we want it to look. We can't see the way out. Sometimes we can't even feel God or feel Jesus. Like, we get really, you know, we go through challenges too. And I don't like to think of it like God testing us, but I think it's like we definitely get opportunities to evolve. We get opportunities to show what we've learned. We get opportunities to choose something better for ourselves. And it's always a process of choosing not to make decisions out of fear. And that's not easy for us all the time, you know, especially when reality really looks like it's going one way, and we can have fear. And so it's like, how are we supposed to constantly hang on to positivity all the time, to create more positivity, to live more positivity, when we feel like the threat of negativity is real for us? Like, things could go wrong. We could die. Someone could die. Like, it's like we're constantly trying to hang on to the positivity and choose that. But I think that's why we need Jesus, because he is the resurrection energy. And whatever your relationship with him is, I really encourage you to have an open mind, because I grew up Catholic, but my real relationship with him came through connecting with his energy, because it's a familiar energy. It's an energy that you're going to go like, oh, that's him. Like, I've felt that my whole life. I know that feeling. I know that feeling of love or manifestation or positivity. Like, I feel that when I am really connected. That's what that is. And and it's only love. That's it. It's not judgment. It's not, you know, a lot of things people do with the name Jesus are not of that energy, but that's who he really is. And connecting with that energy, I just think that we need that, you know. And we can go through so many moments of, you know, especially when you're up leveling, to be honest. Up leveling is for me, it's a 2-part process. It requires maybe I'd even say 3-part. It requires, for me, intense clearing of my energy. I do my method on myself every day. The first thing I do, because if I do it in the morning, I'll have a better day, because your energy creates reality. If my energy is clear, I will have a better day. And if I don't do it, I notice that, I didn't do it and now I'm dealing with this. And so I always do it. That can help you up level faster. Also, learning lessons, even my clients who I work with to clear their energy, and myself too, even if you're clearing your energy all the time, you're still learning lessons. The difference between people who get their energy cleared and people who don't is that people who aren't evolving as quickly, or going past things as quickly, but what they have in common, what we all have to do no matter what, is learn lessons. Even if you're getting your energy cleared, you're still learning lessons. So looking for what is the lesson I'm learning, and then doing, like, passing that test basically when you get the chance, is really important for everybody. And then on top of that, your actions. What are you doing about the up level? Are you thinking of the future you want as in the future, or are you going like, that version of me is inside of me right now, and I'm going to live as that person today? Like, that's really important too, and something that you can do. But what gets in the way of that and learning lessons is negative energy. So that's why I recommend, if you're really serious about your spiritual evolution, going faster, getting your energy cleared. It really can make a big difference. And while you're going along, like, yeah, I find like there are just, especially when you're up leveling, it's like sometimes for you really to go from here to here, like, it can take a lot of clearing, it can take a lot of learning, it can take a lot of going and going and pushing and pushing and pushing. And then it's like, there's almost like a moment before you reach the next level that you might even be in a place of having to surrender. It's like, for us to really evolve, really let go, really be supported by the bigger picture, like, it can take a lot of trust. And I think that we do need divine help. I'm really going to be honest about that. Like, people who are out there and saying like all they do is meditate and all they do is yoga and everything's amazing in their life and they're manifesting everything, it's like, that's all positive and wonderful, but like, I think there is something deeper for all of us, that like, the energy of the resurrection, it's everything, and it just cuts through everything, and it can raise you up so quickly, and it can help you so quickly. And I feel like if you're not leveraging that, like, you should. Yeah, I don't think you should just ignore that. I think that if that's there for you, God loves you, God wants to support you, God literally, I think, is directing positive things at us all the time. And the more we like connect to the resurrection energy, it's like we open up to all those good things, and it just makes your life easier. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to go through stuff, but like, I feel like that matters. And I'm constantly learning about how to be a human and do my best, both in clearing my energy and in my life daily, but also like really getting like more trusting with that energy, because it's literally behind everything that exists. And I think it's just smart to acknowledge that and ask it for help, because God can do things that we can't do. Like, he is our strength, like, he's our creator. It's like you should do everything you can do, but like, don't like ignore that. I think a lot of times we think about life in such a linear fashion, like we're thinking about the masculine aspect of time, which is linear. And we're so stuck in that sometimes that we forget that there's a feminine aspect of time, which is vertical, and that's presence, that's frequency. And when you connect to the presence in the moment, it's so powerful, and it can help you connect to that force behind everything that exists, because it's always there. And I think that's just a smart thing to do, because that's the truth. I think that we're coming into a time where like, it's not smart anymore to pretend that the masculine world is the only thing that's real. It's like the spiritual world is very real. And there are people, more and more people, who have gifts unfolding within that realm and living. I mean, for me, it's a super practical part of my life. I live in New York City. I'm a comedian. I have a business. I have to do a lot of practical things all the time. And to me, this is like a facial for your soul. It's like, where else can you go to get literally clear energy? Because you can feel when your energy needs to get cleared. You can feel when there's a block. It can cause symptoms physically. It can cause, oh my God, like depression and so many things that are uncomfortable, and you can feel it. And so if you're somebody who feels that and really wants to move those things out of your way so that you can live more fast the resurrected version of your life, you should book a free consult with me. I'll put it in the description, because I know I was given these gifts to help people, to help certain people at certain times. I actually teach what I do in a program called Energy School, and I'm teaching my student right now about how, like, when you overcome things in your own life, it prepares you to help other people who will come your way. So I always know, like, as I go through things, there are people coming to me. So I'm always making sure I extend that invitation to people who are watching, because that could be you. And I mean, the journey of evolution, I think it's not always, people talk about love and light, and that's very cool, and that's the truth. But sometimes to be love and light, to live love and light, you have to authentically be willing to let go of so much. Like, you have to be willing to let go of the stuff that you held on to from past lives, and the stuff that happened to you when you were a child. And what those are negative energies, which are specific negative beliefs. And these negative energies / negative beliefs can't randomly come into us. They are only allowed into us when we choose them. So your soul is the commander of all the energies that come in or out of you. And negative energies can only come in you when you choose them, to authentically believe that's the truth. And that comes in, and then now it's a block. And so that can happen a lot. It happens, energy's always moving in and out of us. Luckily, the positive beliefs stay in us permanently. But the negative ones cause a lot of problems. They can cause mental health problems, physical symptoms, things happening in your life that you don't like. You can feel that energy inside of you. That's the trigger for those things. And so getting them removed can really make a big difference quickly in your life, because and the energy world is so fast. You can, in a session, I can dissolve negative energy, and then it's literally that day, things can be different. And that's a kind of therapy I don't think we've ever even heard about. And I like to call it reality engineering. It's like you can literally engineer a more positive reality through clearer energy, and it can be fast. And I'm doing that all the time. That's how I fix problems that come up for me. That's how, I always am looking at the problems in my life, and then I will look at my energy or feel my energy, and I'll go like, hey, where is the problem? Because if it's in my life, it has to be inside of me. Where do I feel it in my body? Where is it in my chakra system? And then I'll go and I'll do an Energy Queen Alchemy session in that area. Like, I got to clear out layers, and there can be a lot of layers in your energy, and it can take work sometimes, but other times it doesn't take a lot of work. You can have really fast results, and when your energy clears, your perspective also gets clearer. You can see your life more clearly. You can see what to do more clearly. You can get ideas, and so basically this is just thoughts about all this, and I hope it means something to you. But some takeaways that I hope you got are clear energy. That's the way of the new world. That's a real service you can get now. I think it's very important for your evolution. It just makes everything so much easier. Learning lessons is going to be important no matter what. Look for the lessons, be open to it. That's one of the main reasons you're alive. Pray about it, get help, ask God for help. and also be the person that you're going to be now. Like, be that version of you right now as much as you can. That's the way that you become that person. And sort of a blanket over all three of those is we need the resurrection. That set up the template for us to resurrect. It's there for you every moment. It's not just through me or when I talk about it, it's the truth of existence. So that's always there for you. And I like to talk about it because it's very real and I need it. I constantly need it. I constantly am seeking it, and I think it really is everything that we are looking for in life. And it's so funny that it's there already. And finding ways to connect to that energy, I think, are really important. If you're Catholic, I'm Catholic, getting the Eucharist, I know that's a really big deal, because that becomes the body of Christ energetically. So you eat that, that's definitely going to help you be spiritually strong. And yeah, like praying, I've seen in the energy world, prayer is it's a very real energetic process that protects you, solves problems. And again, I don't think we can do it alone. I think it's really important to reach out to God and ask him to help us. So I hope that this meant something to you. I hope this helped you. And if you'd like to book a free consult, you can do so in the description. There's my link. So thanks for watching, you guys, and sending you lots and lots of positive energy.